Hello everyone and welcome back. 28 degrees it was again this morning, and one thing I want to do before we fire up that wood boiler is I want to add more stovepipe to it. Trying to get the smoke to go, you know, it comes out and then it just lays in there. If I can get it a little higher, maybe the wind will take it. So I thought I had a piece, like a 3-foot piece, or I think they're 3 feet, I'm not sure, but these are the only 3 I have left after when I remember when I bought that, not this stove, but the airtight, whatever it was. I remember it said airtight. That first stove I had in here, which was a good stove, just you had to, you know, really baby it at first to get it burning. And nothing like the all-nighter. The all-nighter's the best stove I've ever used. Anyway, when I bought it, I can't remember what I paid for it, and it came with all of the, you know, I've got the Class A pipe going through the wall all the way up here, and I've got a piece that goes through the roof and the little cook area there with the cook stove, and I've got one of the pieces already added on to the wood boiler that I did last year, and then all of these pieces, all that came with that stove. So even when the stove wasn't exactly what I wanted, the price for just to buy the stove pipe would have been like 4 times the amount of the whole package. So anyway, I'd like to add on to it. So I wanted to see what I had here and how bad a shape this stuff is in. It doesn't seem too bad. It's just getting it together. There's like 3 main brand names of this here, and none of them, they all click together, but they don't lock in together. So when I do this, I'll put them together, and then I have to put screws in here, and then where like this piece here would be, I don't know, what are these, 24s or 30s? These are 24, so 2, 4, and then 18 inches. So, you know, you're up there 5'6". I'll put, like these I can screw together. I just worry when it gets up that high and we get a 50 or 60 mile an hour wind, which we had yesterday. Most of the day it was so windy, I didn't film anything. Then it'll blow it over. And now that we got the 2 lean-tos on the side of the woodshed, and now next year I will make a different roof over the woodshed so everything looks cute, or whatever I do. Then I can get up high enough where I can run from that roof over to the chimney to help support it. But for right now, I put these around here, and it doesn't like get super tight if I remember correctly, so I had to do something here too. But that helps to, you know, gives you more so it doesn't just snap right off. Probably long-winded, but I hope you get what I'm talking about. I went out in that pile of metal stuff that I got from the greenhouse, and they had, I think, just 4 of these. Anyway, if I do this right, I can actually go down to the roof on the wood shed, because this will be the top, and they had something at one time with this, but of course they just cut it off. If I drill holes through here and run a bolt and then drill a hole through here, which might not be that easy, but I can get it. and then run it down in 2 places, that would hold it. Because when I go up there now and you move it, the whole chimney will move. You know, it sits down in about this far into the wood boiler. I don't think it's any more than that. And you can move it, you know, almost a 1/4 inch. Well, if I'm going to go up, you know, another 5'6", and that wind starts whipping, you know, pretty soon you've got quite the leverage there to screw that up. So I might try to do that. I'm gonna run in and have some lunch and then figure out how to get those poles over here to the woodshed building. It's gotta help. I mean, that's getting more than twice as tall as it was. I got that chimney done over there. It's just so windy, it's hard for me to talk unless I can get in a little quiet cove. Anyway, here, 2 nights ago, something dug into the chicken coop. I think they're going for the milk in the buckets. But then last night I closed up the chicken door from the inside and had everybody inside so they couldn't get in there. I came in here and I poured concrete in the hole. You can see where they got through right there. But they dug all along here. You can even see over here where they were digging. Excuse me. And digging. Get moving. I know you're a big hard guy, but over here they dug too, but this is a wider board and I put concrete in here. And I see last night, oh no they didn't, I put concrete there too. They tried to dig here, but they can't get underneath this part of the building because it's a cement floor. And like I said, it got in right here, and then I poured concrete yesterday. It wasn't totally set up, and it just dug underneath the concrete. It came in last night, but last night I put a trail camera up. The camera's right there on that tree, and then it pointed toward here. Anyway, it was like 9:30 something or whatever, right around 9:30. It was a skunk. And the funny thing is, we were out here on the other side of the chicken coop at 9:39 because Melissa looked at her timestamp on her phone because northern lights were out and we were getting pictures of them. So more than likely that skunk was just hanging out here while we were out here taking pictures. But once I saw it was a skunk, they are the smartest animal ever. I had the hardest time finally getting them out of the workshop barn and blocking that off and everything. So I knew that the cement wasn't going to be enough. So I told Melissa, I said, well, I'll just come out tonight and shoot it. You know, I'll just grab my .22. She said, you said that you could keep it out of there. And she said, and if you could, we wouldn't have to kill it. So anyway, now I've got like 2 feet of fencing coming out, dug in, and then hooked up on there. So tonight it's going to try to dig in. It could still dig in, but it's going to take a lot of effort. And over here they can't get in because, did I say that? The fence is buried underground about 8 inches. There wasn't, on the front part, the chain link, see, isn't as high as over here. So I couldn't bury it down in there. That's why you couldn't get in on the front. And they say that they'll kill chickens, but we've never had them kill chickens. We watch them eat with the cats on trail camera sometime when they were coming up on the back deck. Brandon was sitting there one time, and one came right up the step and the fur rubbed against his leg and it went up there and ate cat food. Now we keep the cat food up high because they can't get up there, so they don't go up there anymore. But anyway, like I said, it got in again last night. So it has to stop because, you know, if they do get really hungry, they will kill a chicken. So we'll see what happens here. I always still have my plan, my A plan, which right now I'm doing my B plan. Good morning, everybody. This morning I ran up to the feed store and I got 350 pounds of whole corn and a 50-pound bag of the 18% dairy. And the only reason I went and I got the dairy is because I called this morning and I ordered 1,000 pounds of it. And they'll grind that all today. It'll put it into a 1,000-pound tote, but it won't be ready until tomorrow. And I was out, so I will pick that up tomorrow. Then I got gas for the tractor because I've been using it quite a bit, and it's been a while since I put anything in there. And I just looked in there, and there's about a ½ inch in the bottom of the tank. So I'd like to haul a load of wood today. It got down to 26 degrees last night. I think it's supposed to get up around 60 though, and the wind finally died down. It's been so windy for so many days. and it finally died down. I wanted to show you guys this before I forget. That skunk definitely tried to get back, and he really worked on it. I mean, all of this has been dug through now. This is where he got through before, though, and he couldn't do it. I'm running in and having some lunch. One more row here and fill that part up, and this side is full. I definitely can take my long johns off now. I had them on this morning because it was so cold, and I don't need them anymore. I got that whole firebox cleaned out. I still need to get the ashes out of the bottom, but it's looking good. We just came out here and milked the cow. I still got to get the turkeys into the pen. And then I started up the wood stove again. I started up at night, load it full of wood, shut it almost all the way down, and it'll be, what, 26 or 28 tomorrow morning here, and it'll be, this morning it was 64 in there. Melissa's in the guest house right now, pulling off cream. And once she gets that done, I imagine she'll make butter tonight, I don't know. Bring the hot water bucket in the house and the dirty rags. And then I will go carry in her cream and then get the turkeys in, and I'll be about done. I'll probably wait until a couple minutes after 7 to milk out Mesa because there's that hurricane coming at Florida, and 7 o'clock is when the world news comes on, so I can get the latest update. My sister lives in Florida, and she is like, I think it was a 28-minute drive north of Tampa. So she said that they're not evacuating, but they did board up their windows. And the whole neighborhood where she lives is not evacuating, but a lot of them haven't boarded up. So I want to see where that path is, because if it goes a little bit more north than what it's planning right now, that could be a real mess. Today, they'll call me and then I have to go pick up my 1-ton tote of, or my 1,000-pound tote of dairy feed. And then I want to keep working on that wood boiler and get that ready to be burned. And that's just what I'm thinking right now. Yesterday I had a whole plan for the day and decided to do the wood boiler just at the last minute. And that's what I ended up doing, so it could change. Did you finally go potty yet? It took forever for him to get up. I wasn't going to go out there and get him, but if she doesn't get up and use the bathroom, she's going to make a mess in here. You better be good. You ready? Come on. Come on, let's go. There you go, Festus. Let's see how dirty you got last night, huh? Huh? Pretty clean. I like it. No laying in all them big old crap piles, huh? What are you doing? Yesterday I collected that milk, put it into that little silver container, brought it out here, and I set it right on top of that garbage can right there. There's nothing in it. It was 26 or 28 degrees. I thought, I'm going to put it in there and then just leave it there for a while before I go put it into the fridge, the coop milk cooler, because it will cool down faster. We want to put it into a freezer for a couple hours, but we're not that far yet. Anyway, it's like I'm having lunch and I look and it's like 61 or 62 degrees, and I remembered, oh no, the milk. I had to dump it all. I ruined it. Is that good stuff, Festus? I want good tasting hamburger. You better eat that up. That's it till tonight, Festus. Come on. Taking a dump in here. Out you go. There you go. She literally walked out the door and lifted her tail. It's like, I've got to get her out so fast. That's ready. It's washed up. Oh, that's enough wood for this morning. I think that's 4 tractor loads. It's about 11:45, so I'll go find some lunch. I have to call up the feed store and see if they have my 1,000 pounds ground yet. I'd like to come out here and spend about an hour on this thing today too. It's about time for me to plug it in and get all the pumps running and let them run for a few weeks before we fire it up. Get rid of any air bubbles or anything like that. Well, that's what 1,000 pounds of 18% dairy mix looks like. And that should last about 125 days. Well, I got it cleaned out, and then I wanted to run a fire to make sure everything is working good. And now I'm just throwing some pieces and I'm going to get it up to temperature. It'll kick off at 180. And then I can go around to the 3 buildings and touch the pipes and make sure that they're hot and everything is flowing right. There's not oxygen in the lines and everything like that. So, and then I'll just let it shut down until we fire it up at the end of this month or the beginning of the next. See, I have to do some tightening right here for this. It leaks smoke out of this part right here. Takes a while to remember which switches to do, and that smoke still though comes out the stack, lays right down onto the ground. It's like, how high do you gotta be so that it doesn't do that? Good morning, everybody. I ran the boiler all night last night. Well, I put wood in yesterday and it burned all night long. I just shut it down now and it was nice. Super hot water in the house. Furnace got down to 38 last night. Wasn't too bad, but the furnace came on, but just the blower, it didn't have to fire up. So everything is working good. But one thing I did not do is explain, like in the spring we took out all of the ashes, but I had to get in there and super clean it this year. And the reason why was last winter, remember I went in and had my surgery, I don't know when it was, at the end of February, very beginning of March, somewhere in there. And for the next couple of months, Brandon loaded up the boiler, and he did a great job, you know, morning and night, everything was fine. And I never came out and checked anything. I never had any trouble with this thing. But this pin right here, there's a, hopefully you can see this cotter pin right here, and one size bigger than this one. Anyway, it broke. And so what happened was, this thing was down, it was off a little bit. There was like a little bit of a half moon that was open. So when this thing kicked on, it didn't get to suck in the air. And all I ever did was look out the window and see the smoke coming out of the smokestack. And I did think that it seemed to be burning dirty. But you know, it's getting to be spring, it was a weird winter, and if the wood is wet, you get a lot of steam coming out of it. So basically what happened is during that 2-month period or whatever, when I didn't, it was probably even longer than that, because I really didn't do the boiler at all, and we shut it down opening fishing, which is, you know, like that first week in May. Is it somewhere in there that cotter pin broke, and the ashes were building up down here, but Brandon really didn't think about it because first time he's ever done it, and we've been burning wood a long time. And he said after the fact, when I asked him, he said there wasn't a whole lot of ashes in the ash pan. And usually that'll get full, you know, you have to dump it once a week, sometimes twice a week. So anyway, it sat here and smoldered. I don't know when that cotter pin broke, so I don't know if it smoldered for 2 months or for 1 month or whatever. And I got a huge amount of creosote buildup in here, like a lot in the corners where it goes straight and goes at an angle. Some places it was 3 inches thick. So I had to get in here and I just took the chisel and, you know, pop it off. Some of it was really hard, but now it's cleaned up real good and it worked absolutely awesome last night. But I thought I better explain that to people. Otherwise you're wondering, what was I doing in there with a hammer and a chisel? And I was so dirty when I got out of here. And anyway, that's why. I think I'm just going to let this be open today, and I'll clean out this ash and it'll be ready to start here in a few weeks. That was nice last night though. I mean, it only took, you know, 4 or 5 hours to get the water up to temp. And we have some 20-degree nights coming, 20, you know, upper 20s next week. I might want to fire it up for a day or two there too. I still have some cleaning to, like I look around and I'll see ashes on here that I didn't get. So I'll play around with it a little bit more, but it's basically ready to go. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. That's where that grain's going right now. That's not going to be, it's where it's going, and right now I had to shove it in somewhere, and we're having discussions on where it's going to be, but it's not, it won't be in the garage. I got to get the 2 kilns out of there and brought into the back of the workshop building and stuff, and just get the garage cleaned up here before winter. But it's really not that bad, just stuff is strung around that needs to be put away. And I keep saving pallets because I don't know if I'm going to put them underneath the wood or, you know, or underneath feed. This one came with a pallet, but they also burn good, or you can make stuff out of them. I've done that before also. I guess the next thing I'll be doing is continuing to cut some wood and stack it in. Winter's on its way. I think I have time to go grab a load right now before lunch. I'll see you guys on the next video.